Big Junko exclaims, "Not the Naegis," for no particular reason. Well, you should probably be screaming that, because they tend to foil your plans a whole lot. Good day, good people. It is another fine day in the year of the Ascent. Tumblr, Dave, and your United States Aviator. Welcome to the first post-premiere episode. So we're really about to get deep down into it for the Danganronpa Hunger Games. And I bet you guys have been wondering on the edge of your seats who will be teamed up this season of the Hunger Games. I think it's time to find out. We got a big episode because it was the classic Meet the Teams episode where all the teams are here, including not only your champs, but your two championship teams for what happened in the tag team premiere, which was never before seen. You think you see it all in these games, but you never see it all, especially when the simulator is always in a constant state of change. Let's introduce your teams for the season. First and foremost, we have the champs, shrouded in mystery, Fatogami and Kei, your dark side champs, and then your light side champs, the Pure Boys, Yuta, Joe, and Izioi. And then we go on to some teams that you love, you know and love. This may be some of their last seasons, like Prepare for Trouble, Gundam, Sonya, and Jin. Can they finally clutch up on a win? Or will they go their separate ways? Fusion Ha trying to get those titles back. They want one more run together. Taka and Hajime. The Jacket Failures. We still have Hiro, Kaito, and Kanji. The Proud Fathers got a little expansion. Taichi and Gerald met up with Dojima, and they were like, let's talk about our kids, and they just have a good time, chilling, grilling, talking about their kids. I tell you what, the big sisters are here once more. Mukuro, Sarah, and Hina. The cross-dimensional sisters, look at them. Kotoko has been loving it, pairing up with people from Fire Emblem, and this time there's no explanation needed. Look at them. If you told me that they were the same person like 8 years later, I'd be like, well, yeah, you're right, that's them. Kotoko and Hilda. We have the accent imposters who were probably about to break up, but then I said, you know what? They haven't had the summer season to enjoy the summer holidays. We gotta give them a whole year to celebrate. So we still have Celeste and Teru for more than likely the last time. The Brainiacs want their titles back. Nagisa and Cork have not given up. Healthcare didn't do much last season, but trying to do something this season. We have Mikon, Mercy, and Luna. At your service, dropped Nagito. They were like, you aren't even the best of servants, not the best of maids or butlers, and so they hired someone who actually says, at your service. We have Kurumi, Pennyworth, and now Miss Noel. Eye for an eye. We have Munakata, we have Fuyuhiko, and we have Dimitri. Fuyuhiko joining Eye for an Eye. There's no explanation needed for that one. And Headphone Vibin returns. Masaru, Yosuke, and Marco. Ultra Despair. Girls are here. One more time, trying to get their titles back as well. Komaru and Jack here together. But can they stop the unstoppable idols? Sayaka, Iris, and joining the competition, Barbara. Mind Trip is back for, once again, more than likely the last time. Maya, Pewter, and Yasuke. Here with the mysterious mascots, Zero the Third, Teddy, and Monokuma. The power of God and anime. For perhaps the last time, one of the teams with one of the best names of all time, we have to say, Azuru, Hifumi, and Mitrai are here. Rock On, Hazubuki, Reiko, and Shinyan. Homeroom, we have Chisa, Kizakura, and Usami, and the Amnesiacs. Got a little expansion. Ryoko and Date now have Marie. And if we go on a little bit further, we have the Headmasters. We have Jin and Tengen, still teaming up together, still trying to make a little magic work. And your Agents of Chaos, the Hornbearers. Do not forget. Don't forget, because they have a little bit of an extra now that there are two champions. Mask On. We have the Great Gozu, we have Seiko, and we have Jotaro. The Selfless Saviors are back as well. Juzo, Keiji, and Mishima. If we go on to see the spoiled team, they want the titles. It could be their time soon. Togami, Natsumi, and Oda. And the Resistance are also here. Haiji and Hiroko, and I think past this point we have a bunch of new teams, like the Wolfpack. We have Gonta, and we have Razor. Brute Force, we have Sakura teaming up with Tinko and Mana from Lost Dimension. Here to stay. And they are here to stay. It is Junko AI, Crazy Yoko Extra Large, and Nani Chiaki. 3 entries who were kind of put in as a joke, but hey, look at them now. Look at them now. One has ascended Sheepy Glory, one is a former tag team champion, one in some of the most iconic ways, and then Junko AI, she's big. That's big Junko right there. Corrupted Code. We know that So will do almost anything to stay alive, to beat the odds. So this time he's teaming up with Junko, and maybe his code's a little more corrupted than it used to be. The Meat Masters, Akane and Chie, they both kick butt and they both love some meat. Shorty Sleepover. We have the 3 short girls. We got 3 shorties. We got Himiko, we got Kana, and we got Crazy Yoko. I don't even know how that dynamic would go, but we're gonna keep on going. Peaceful Protest. We have Kyoko and Chiaki, the unlucky adventure team, which I will say was the most suggested tag team. It had a couple different name variants, but it was the most suggested tag team in the tag team suggestion box at this point in time. I think it was suggested like by 4 different people with 4 different names. But unlucky adventure team, it just works. It just fits together. I don't know what it is about these two, but it just works. The Womanagers, Kanon, Yukiko, and Boss all have some managing experience, and now can they manage their way to the titles? The Devious Disguises, we have Samugi Kronya, and we have Ranger, who is a threat in these games somehow, some way. Can that carry over to working with a team, or does Ranger work best solo? A little experiment, if you will. The Jailbirds, we have Ryoma, and we have Alice. Robotics Club, one of my favorite new teams. We have Kazuichi, not my favorite new team. There's one new team that I'm like, haha, I do love it. We have Kazuichi, we have Monica, and we have Kibo. Kibo's gonna go through a hard time, but this might be good for Monica. She needs to be on a team that can get, be a positive influence on her. Capture the moment. We have Angie, Albedo, and we have Miss Now. Fantastic artist, going strong, trying to capture the moment. Can they capture the titles? Cutting words, they say that the pen is mightier than the sword, but what happens when you have the pen from Toko and the sword from Peko? Cutting words. To be me. We have Chihiro, and we have Naoto. Together. Once again, probably a team that doesn't need too much explanation. Hopefully they can find a way to be themselves. The Pro Tag Team. The Pro Tag Team. I just love the name. We have Kaede, we have Makoto, and we have Shuichi. A hard knock life goes to Maki, Mizuki, and Kyutaro. Strong and soft. 3 very large individuals, but they have been shown to have a little softer side. We have Nekamaru, Daisaku, and Mondo. Home Run. Now they have teamed up together before. Not in just a pair. They had Terutero on their side and Mahir was trying to teach them to be gentlemen. But this time, they're together for a different reason. Their methods of death and or execution kind of match up. One, had baseballs and the other one had a baseball bat. Home run together. The obsessive siblings. We have Corey in the house with Clover and Child. And these 3 will do anything for their siblings. Anything. Aiko's kitchen, they're cooking up a storm over here. Aiko with her frying pan, iconic. But we also have Kai, who we know as a frying pan as well. And Ruruka's here to cook up some sweets, making the most delightful cooking team of all time. We have Ara Ara, we have Mew, and we have Lisa, and then we have Liar, Liar. And every season there's a team. There's a team that I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna come up with a good name for a team, and this is the one. That's the good name for a team. Last season it was Say It Ain't So. This season it's Liar Liar. I like that team a lot. Kokichi and Venti joining the fray. And those are the teams. And we did it in about 10 minutes, which is what I expected, because it's 51 teams this season, which is, I think, close to about the same as last season. I'm excited for it. I like pretty much all the new teams, which is a lot of fun. So, this is when I can actually ask you guys, first, second, and third, of course, but who are your tag team ride or dies now that we have these new teams? I'll have to select one too, and I think I have an idea of who I want. I'll tell you in a second after you make your comments, because they're important, like this one, and that one. Give me your tag team ride or dies, as well as first, second, and third. Go ahead and let me know. This is going to be a game. It is going to be a game. However, we can't just stop there, and I have to lean all the way over here because, woo. I didn't really almost forget, I just didn't know that it was not right next to me. We got some explaining to do. Where are they? The Horn Bearers, your Agents of Chaos. So, as I click the record button in 3, 2, 1. The Horn Bearers, the Agents of Chaos. You know how this goes. They will spin the wheel whenever the champs are present in an episode. However, now because there are 2 champs and they are both present in this episode, they get a chance to spin twice. And because when the wheel fails, it goes up 5%. If they fail this 5%, I will immediately change it to 10% so they can spin for the other team. And the last caveat that has changed for the Agent of Chaos, the one that hasn't, those 2 parts technically didn't really change, it's just semantics. The last part is that, if they cash in on one team, they cash in on both teams. They cash in on all of the champions. So they will force a title unification match. Unless, you know, in that episode where they try and unite the titles, there's another tie, which is, once again, very rare. Very rare. We have had a tie in this simulator 2 times? 3 times? 2 or 3 times? Very rare. But hey, anything's possible. So I think it's time to spin for the first time. 5%. It's never hit at 5%. But it could hit for the first time today. Let's see if it does. It would be insane for all of the teams in the very first episode. Will it happen? Let's see. Let's find out. Oh, okay, it won't. It won't. But that was just for the spin for Shrouded in Mystery. I gotta stop this recording real quick, and we gotta boost it immediately, which is an odd feeling, but we are ready to go again in 3, 2, 1. 10%! That's something else. Okay. You ready? It's a bigger chunk. It is 10% of the wheel, and we get to restart the music again. This time for the Pure Boys. I think we just gotta keep on keeping on. We gotta see what happens. We're scrolling, we're spinning, and it has hit at 10% before. Will it do it again today? It will not. It looks like they are both safe. So whenever both sets of champions are in, and we can go back to this music, we'll spin twice. When it's just one set of champions in, we'll spin once, but if it hits, we drag in the other champions. And there probably won't be an episode where no champions are in, but I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. This will also be the first episode that we get the Retribution, but I'm gonna go ahead and make my pick. As much as I love Liar Liar, I love that team a whole lot, I won't lie. I think my ride or dies is, I could go back to the Amnesiacs, because I do love those 3. But I'm gonna say my ride or dies this season, I'm gonna pick a new team, and I think I want Brute Force. I just like the team combo, but actually give me Here to Stay for first, give me the Unlucky Adventure Team for second, and then give me At Your Service for third, because we love Noelle out here. But we can't dilly and dally anymore. This is probably one of the... It's not the longest intro because of the Yossi episodes, and I feel like this is me, the team, so you expected this intro to be long, and it probably had your attention because you're like, who else? Who else? Who else is on a team? It is time for you know what. And come on. I'm sorry, what? What even? This is not the season for this. I know exactly what this container is. This is one of those large cylindrical containers that contains a whole bunch of those cookies that you get for Christmas. But every time you see this container, it's not around Christmas time in somebody's house. There's always all sorts of odds and ends, papers, other things left over like Christmas decorations. It's a good storage container, but I wonder what's inside. Alright, I'll bite. What? Actual Christmas cookies. What kind of Twilight Zone magic is this? I could have sworn Asmir would have been in here somewhere. Underneath the... Okay, I'm gonna save all of these for later because my sweet tooth will most definitely be satisfied. However, Christmas cookies that are actually in that container aside, we have an Asmir roll, and it will be very important because this will be the first match that will determine who will go on to the Retribution match. And how many spots we will get from this episode, I will tell you. It will be 4. 4. A good start. So we're not gonna have all ones, that's good at least. That's something I was worried about. So we're starting off with 4, and I'm fine with that. So let's go and resimulate. Not 1 time. Not 2 times. Not 3 times. But a truly phenomenal and spectacular 4 times, because we have no time to waste. This is going to be a treat. There's 100 and something competitors here, 51 teams I believe, and it will be a show of shows. Are you ready? Let's go on. First time with all of these new teams and old teams and mixed up teams. Let's go ahead and proceed and see what unfolds. As the trippy sound of their podiums, the horns, they doff sound, so can we please, before everything goes down, sound the horns! Fantastic. Nagito runs away from the cornucopia. Oda decapitates Kizakura with a sword. He's our first one out. Kyoko finds a teleporter, teleports her to Garrick Mach Monastery. She steals an ancient relic and returns to the game. Joe decides to lend Avi a hand and kills a Komodo dragon that's loose in the arena. Joe, you're a 2-time champ, and I'm proud of you. Fuyuko convinces Hifumi, Kibo, Fatogami, Ryoko, and Mahiru to boycott the killing game. Chihiro finds a model cornucopia inside the cornucopia as Teruteru runs away from said cornucopia. Kutaro argues with Monokuma. Sonya begs for one of the weapons that Aiko's picked up. She feels bad and reluctantly gives it to not sharpshooting, steel-minded big sister Sonya. She's just sheep wrangling Sonya. Imagine we add sheep wrangling to Sarah's name. Goodness gracious. Dojima argues with Monokuma. I believe that. Alice was spacing out during the dice roll and wonders if it landed on run. No, my boy. It landed on 4. We're good. We're A-okay. Quirk and Yosuke immediately become friends. That's so nice. Nane Achiaki finds Maria's corpse from a previous game in the cornucopia. Marie isn't shocked by this discovery. I am. Because I think this is your very first game. How did this happen? Ranger, Iris, and Sato get into a fight. Ranger triumphantly kills them both. Do not count out Ranger. Ranger, for some reason, is a heavy hitter in these games. Jin and Date try to find a way to escape. Crazy Yoko clutches a first aid kit and runs away. Angie runs away from the cornucopia. Monica comes into the games on a rare mount, making Clover and Shinyon jealous. Kazuichi's been dilling and dallying on an essay that is due by the end of the episode. Now he has to work on it while also trying not to get killed. That's not gonna turn out so well. Jin runs away from the cornucopia. Monokuma, Kokichi, Celeste, Gonta, and Kana have a party to boost some morale. Celeste turns off the lights and KOs Monokuma. Well, I can't blame her. Rantaro can't remember who they are. Makoto tries to help him remember. It's that chaos that's brimming in his mind. Ruruka runs away with a ladder and some rope. Tenko is trampled by Mikan, Sayaka, and Sarah during the initial rush to the supplies. Rest in peace to Tenko. The Great Gozu stays at the cornucopia for resources as Razor runs away from the cornucopia. Kanon acts antisocial and refuses to introduce herself. Zuru runs away from the cornucopia. Kanji refuses to believe that any of this is real. Reiko runs away from the cornucopia. Luna and Venti fight Undisputed Mew and Sumugi. Luna and Venti actually survive. Well, it's Venti. That man's is something else. Crazy Yoko XLR snatches a pair of sais. She's crazy, y'all watch out for her. Kai finds a teleporter, teleports him to the despair dimension. This sparks the question of who would build a teleporter to the despair dimension. Seems like a trap to me, but we'll fish that man's out. Leon runs away from the cornucopia, as does Mukuro and Hilda. Toko decides to head back to the cornucopia to look for supplies that could have been left during the bloodbath, but when she finds the middle of the arena, the cornucopia isn't there. Where could it have gone? Masaru finds a teleporter, teleports him to Garrickmock Monastery. He steals an ancient relic. A relic returns to the game. Ryoma does exactly the same. Jotaro feels under the weather. And Junko, AI, aka Big Junko, and Taichi comfort him and take care of him during this game. Hero runs away from the cornucopia. Lisa clutches the first aid kit and runs away. Gerald and Sakura try and find a way to escape. Juzo comes to the arena to capture Hiroko, a dangerous killer that escaped from an insane asylum. She did say she was a nurse, she didn't say where. Nakamaru begs for one of Kori's weapons that he picked up. He feels bad, reluctantly gives it to the champ Nakamaru. Yukiko runs away from the cornucopia. Chie kills Albedo, then frames So for it, and he gets punished. Chie ain't messing around. Mitarai and Jack make a secret pact to work together. Kranya runs away from the cornucopia, as does Zero the Third. Peko grabs a backpack, not realizing it's empty. Dimitri and Junko wrestle over a bag. Mana comes in, throws pocket sand at the both of them, allowing herself to snatch the bag with ease, and Hajime sets off the first explosive of the game, taking out Pewter, Teddy, Mizuki, and Nagisa. A shame. Rest in peace to them. Chiaki approaches Kaede, Komaru, and Naoto and tells them that she'll be killing them all this game. So much for the peaceful part of peaceful protest. Yuta runs away from the cornucopia. Izuoi comes to the arena to capture Kaito, a dangerous killer escaped from an insane asylum. The only thing insane about Kaito is that he's never won a game. Munakata tries to kill, in fact does kill Haiji as he tries to run. Hina cries in despair, is accomplishing nothing. Natsumi finds a wizard robe in the cornucopia and puts it on. Hajime is not gonna like that. He's already been popping off. You don't want to set that man off, Natsumi. Shuichi catches Keiji off guard and kills him. Himiko already killed Seiko at the start, but she's penalized because the horns hadn't sounded when she killed Seiko. As punishment, Himiko was automatically eliminated for violating the rules. Himiko, I can't believe it. You're ruthless. Get out of here. You don't deserve it. Daisaku spots his most prized possession hidden amongst the supplies. He goes to grab it, Maya grabs it first. Mondo gathers as much food as he possibly can, now gets down on one knee and proposes to Mishima. She would do that! Before Mishima can say no, Barbara beheads. Oh no. Beheads now with a sword, leaving Mishima in a state of shock. Wow. Now getting beheaded and leaving Mishima in shock. Welcome to opposite Dave Bennett. And Ibuki fall in love at first sight despite the circumstances. Kei runs away from the cornucopia. Togami tries to explain to Monokuma that there's been a mistake and that he isn't supposed to be here. Tengen runs away from the cornucopia. Usami scares Marco away from the cornucopia. Chisa actually runs away from the cornucopia, so does Boss. We are still not through the bloodbath. Jeez Louise. Because Pennyworth windmills his arms and charges into the arena with his eyes closed. A path of destruction, Gundam and Mercedes, all obliterated. You do hate to see that. Yasuke runs away from the cornucopia. Kurumi has been dilling and dallying, has to finish that essay before the end of the episode, and has to not get killed while doing it. Child runs away from the cornucopia. Taka stabs Maki in the back with a trident. You do hate to see that. Akane runs away from the cornucopia. Kotoko runs away as well. And Noelle has been dilling and dallying. I didn't expect you to do that, Noelle. Now you gotta finish that essay before, and also trying not to get killed. Hopefully you got your shield ready because it's time for day 1. Kibo is making Makoto angry. Kibo's not gonna like Makoto when he's angry. Togami receives a gift from a secret admirer. It's a giant stuffed bear, Natsumi. Runs over the edge while trying to escape Daisaku and plummets to her doom. He's a big man, but he's got a soft heart, Natsumi. Or maybe she was more afraid. Maybe she thought her wizard robe would carry her to safety. It did not. Chisa beats Nagito with a steel chair. Reiko discovers a river, the Reiko River. Kazuichi teaches Jin some fighting moves. Little does he know, the Jin is being taught wrong. That's a joke. Usami convinces Ranger not to kill her, only to kill him instead. Usami with the mind games. Mukuro, Monica, Chihiro, and Sakura swim in a magical lake hidden deep beneath the arena, whose mystical waters turn them all into chibi forms of themselves. They proceed to kill Taka with cuteness. Well, you hate to see that. Dimitri, Mana, Kaede, Hilda, and Hajime hunt for other tributes. Kyoko gets drenched in honey, and unfortunately she's allergic to honey and perishes. Rest in peace to her. Date spends a Date ticket on Izzy. I couldn't resist. Zero the Third says something wrong and Chiaki calls them a foolish fool. Gerald sees a completely pale Marco washed ashore, unmoving. Gerald revives him with CPR, but doesn't stop when Marco regains consciousness. Nasty. Mitsurai wants to be a stepping stone for everyone else. The Great Gozu sits down next to Mitsurai and has a talk with him. That seems like a Great Gozu thing to do. Nane Chiaki tries to spearfish with a trident. Ruruka beats Kana with a ladder, but she survives. Razor wonders what events are canon to the Danganronpa Hunger Games lore. I wonder. Noelle finds a fedora and puts it on. Angie suddenly yells out, "Noelle, the platypus!" Maya trips on a comically placed banana peel and falls on her bottom. Yasuke, Ryoma, and Fat Togami come up with a complicated escape plan. Juzo receives an explosion from an unknown sponsor. Kaito, Hiroko, Sonia, Leon, and Hina look for other people to kill. Boss confides in Toko. Pennyworth drives up to Maki Donald's, wants some ice cream. Fortunately, there's an ice cream machine working. How lucky. Hiro smacks the taste out of Munakata's mouth. Luna and Kei hunt for other tributes. A little bit of Zero Escape homies there. Genocide Jack starts hanging up mistletoe, but Alice swoops in, snaps her arm, burns the mistletoe. Jack, we're gonna have to have a talk. Aiko trips on a comically placed banana peel, falls to her bottom. Venti wants to be a stepping stone for everyone else. Naoto uses their special attack on Shuichi, the Mega Destruction Ball of Darkness and Destruction. Former tag team partners attacking each other, but it actually did no damage. Mikon also finds that fedora, puts it on. Quark suddenly yells out, "Mikon the platypus!" Masaru sets up an ice cream shack. Gonta comes and buys some. It was awful. Gonta burns down the shack, killing Masaru. Rest in peace to Masaru, will not get his first one today. Hifumi receives pancakes from Avi. You love to see that. Taichi punches Tengen off of a cliff, screaming, "Punch Club forever!" To the heavens. Yuta accidentally blurts out the fact that he likes Fuyuhiko in a non-platonic way. Fuyuhiko declines the accidental confession, saying he doesn't like him in that way. Yuta's out here heartbroken. Mishima sets Cannon on fire with a flamethrower. That's gonna hurt. Barbara kills Ibuki with a sickle. Also gonna hurt. Ryoko, Ryoko, Dojima, Yukiko, and Kai hunt for other tributes. Mondo trips on a comically placed banana peel and breaks his neck. Should have just landed on your bottom. That's a safe spot. Junko reaches her hand towards the screen. The watcher isn't safe. Run. Kanji searches for firewood. Sarah smacks a taste out of Rantaro's mouth. Nekamaru receives a gift from a secret admirer. It's a box of chocolates. Celeste reaches her hand towards the screen. The watcher's still not safe. Run. That's two people reaching towards the screen. Run. Lisa punches Crazy Yoko off of a cliff, screaming, "Punch Club forever" to the heavens. Did not expect that from Lisa, but hey, I mean, maybe she has a mean right hook. Crazy Yoko extra large, however, washes her hands in the river. Izuru tells a frustrated Yosuke to chill out. Sometimes Yosuke does need to chill out. Child chews too much bubblegum and dies of horrible stomach pains. Big Junko offers to sell her friendship to Chie. You probably should not accept that, Chie. It's probably not a good idea. Marie wants to be a stepping stone for everyone else. Kotoko sits down next to Marie and has a talk with her. She's like, you've already seen your dead body somehow. maybe you should calm down just a little bit. Sayaka and Oda have a picnic on a cliff. Surprisingly, nothing goes wrong. Kranya asks for AV's soundboard. Kranya, you're not great. But I still love your design, so I'm gonna let you have it. AV grants it and she throws an epic dance party with Kyutaro, Kori, Shinyan, and Kokichi. Oh, it is an invincible rainbow arrow. And they're vibing out. And not dying, surprisingly. But if we keep going... Joe receives a gift from a secret admirer to the giant stuffed teddy bear. Jin confides in Peko. Clover sets up an ice cream shack. Nobody comes. Akane exclaims, not the Naegis for no particular reason. Komaru plays patty cake with Mahiru. Kurumi and Bennett kiss underneath the mistletoe. And Jotaro violently shakes a tree. To knock loose some fruit, we lost 32. We still have a ton to lose. So we are going to jump right into a terrible turnabout. I'm sorry, just a Claire de Lune actually for Kizakura, Iris, Sato, Monokuma, Tenko, Mew, Samugi, Albedo, So, Pewter, Teddy, Mizuki, Nagisa, Haiji, Keiji, Himiko, Seiko, Now, Gundam, Mercy, Maki, Natsumi, Ranger, Taka, Kyoko, Masaru, Tengen, Kanon, Ibuki, Mondo, Crazy Hiyoko, Child. 32 gone, and we still have a whole bunch left to lose. A whole bunch. 101. Like the Dalmatians. We'll do a slow scroll. You can see which teams are in. Because you gotta get used to these teams. There's still a bunch of people still in. We lost 32, but we have 100 remaining. And one. And one will come out on top. Or two. Who knows? I'll be completely honest. You can never count it out. You can never count it out. But there's the scroll all the way from top to bottom. All these teams still have a shot. And we gotta remember, it's retribution time. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So you want your whole team to do good just in case. Just in case. But we will proceed now. To night 1. Mishima and Kaede have a pose off. Mishima wins. Alice loves Dojima as much as Maki loves Kaito, so they're actually getting along. Convict and cop. Naoto tucks Ifumi into bed, gives him a goodnight kiss. Izuo tries to treat his infection. Kibo and Jin settle their dispute over an intense game of rock, paper, scissors. Daisaku shoots an arrow into Angie's head. Rest in peace, Stuart Binti. Lets Pennyworth into his shelter. Sakura challenges the great Gozu and Mana to an anything goes pancake eating competition. Let me tell you, the greatest of Gozus actually comes out on top, and I'm gonna write his name down right here because I'll tell you what, he has earned entry into the World Pancake Championship Invitational. When will that happen? Soon. We got 24 people on that list. I'm bringing it out. Junko goes to the dog shelter and lets all of the dogs out. Of course, it was Junko who let the dogs out. Goto is plagued by a recurring nightmare. Mukuro, Mitarai, and Sarah enter a scrum debate with Crazy Oko, Sayaka, and Nagito. They argue over what the best starter Pokemon is. Well, I might be biased. Marie battles Corey in an intense game of rock, paper, scissors. Marie loses and has a sad feeling in her chest. Kai is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Joe relaxes by the fireplace. Cork threatens Toto with a good time. Azuru, Barbara, and Makoto, and Date get together and form a rock band. Well, maybe Barbara can get them all coordinated. Azuru might get bored. Makoto's just lucky, so maybe they'll do a good time. Maybe they'll have a good time together. To build each other's trust, Shuichi and Taichi decide to do trust falls on the very first instance. Shuichi steps aside and lets Taichi fall on the ground. Juzo hits Yasuke with some sweet chin music Jin. Since Fuiko for Mew-like behavior, at least he didn't send Mew to jail for Mew-like behavior, but he'll get out of there. After losing repeatedly to Rantaro and chest, Monica tosses the game board into the campfire. I'm just always, when that one comes up, I'm just always afraid that this person is throwing the person into the campfire, because that one does exist. Akane and Jack Vow to protect each other, Usami buys a deed to the house. She can have parties every week. Teruteru and Kana take some pictures of the Aurora Borealis before going to sleep for the night. Luna also hits some sweet chin music, but this time on Maya. Kotoko and Kyutaro hold hands. But his hands are so massive and her hands are so tiny. Aiko sees a fire but stays hidden. Shinyan, Oda, Jotaro, and Razor play a friendly game of Uno, which Jotaro wins actually. Kanji. I'm shocked that he won! I'd have him for like 3rd place to winning this game, but I guess he's got the strats. Kanji and Yosuke get onto a balcony and watch the stars together. Leon buys every single version of Uno from AV's Wares and Despairs. Hina, Togami, and Hiroko enter a scrum debate with Clover. Nakamaru and Chiaki, they argue over which victim had the saddest death. I don't know, I'd have to think about that one. I don't have an answer for that. Which Danganronpa victim do you think had the saddest death? K. Yuta and Toko play a game of Monopoly. K loses all of his properties, flips the game board over. Celeste, Big Junko, and Ruka cheerfully sing songs together. Sonya battles Chie in an intense game of rock, paper, scissors. Sonya loses, has a sad feeling in her chest. Hajime confesses love for Marco. Marco lovingly embraces him, accepting the confession. Kokichi hates Ryoma so strongly that, oh gosh, that he has created a squad against Ryoma. Munakata and Nane Achiaki sleep in shifts, and lo and behold, here we are. Zero the 3rd, Reiko, Mahiru, Kazuichi, Kranya, Komaru, Ryoko, Kurumi, Kaito, Lisa, and Chisa are forced to vote on which one of them is a traitor, then have that traitor be executed. Reiko is voted as the traitor, and is turned to dust. Well, sorry Reiko. I guess everyone was like, you're probably the traitor. Boss never wants to hear Megalovania ever again. Dimitri finds Mikon hiding, then comedically slaps Mikon. I didn't know you were such a funny man, Dimitri. In the dead of night, Bennett ducks and dodges the laser defense system and manages to escape the arena James Bond style. Impressive, but you're still disqualified. You can't just leave while the game is going on. Very lucky that you got out, but unfortunately it's your first time and nobody told you the rules, so you're disqualified. Peko and Yukiko get onto a balcony and watch the stars together. Fat Togami charges his ultimate move. Jiro tends to Noel's wounds. Good boy, Chihiro. We love to see that. And to build each other's trust, Jiro and Hiro do trust falls in the very first instance. Gerald steps aside, lets Hiro fall to the ground, and will proceed. And it is time for day 2. As Leon smacks a taste out of Naoto's mouth. The people aren't gonna like that, Leon. The people are not gonna like that. Neither's Mahiru. Neither's Mahiru. Mukuro gets her hand stuck in a can of Pringles. Yuta exclaims, "Not the Naegis," for no reason in particular. Gonta decapitates Kai with a sword. Goodness gracious, Alice goes hunting. Razor and Nekamaru make a list of chores for Ryoko to do. Hopefully she doesn't lose the list because she will forget all of them. Ruruka convinces Nane Achiaki not to kill her, only to kill her instead. Ruruka, goodness gracious. Shinyan and Sonya play tricks on Usami while Oda steals from her room. Zero the 3rd's unknown sponsor is Raid Shadow Legends. Kana feigns death, tricking Noel into ignoring her. Chiaki says something wrong, and Hajime calls her a foolish fool. Little, didn't know you had the moxie to do that to Chiaki, Hajime. Okay, who knew? Terra receives medical splashman. A secret admirer, Pennyworth slams Clover through a table. Aiko finds a yeet ball, and yeet ball's coming back. And hopefully someone will actually score this season. Mahiru steps on a Lego brick wall barefoot. She shrugs off the pain. Sayaka uses Christmas magic to change the month to December. Maybe I need to eat some more of those cookies, but Sayaka, I'm still mad at you for doing it. Makoto and Kokichi pool their money to hire Mikon, an assassin, to kill Akane, but Akane is richer than them, surprisingly enough, and pays Mikon to kill them instead, which means a shame for those two. Togami is theorizing how best to counter AV's jinx. Mana receives a gift from a secret admirer. It's that's nasty. Barbara sets Venti on fire with a flamethrower. She was like, I might be hydro, but let me tell you, this flamethrower, it is pyro. Yukiko accidentally blurts out the fact that she likes Junko in a non-platonic way. Junko declines that accidental confession, saying she doesn't like her in that way. Probably for the best, Yukiko. Peko kills Lisa while she's resting Sarah. Steps on a Lego brick, shrugs off the pain. Kurumi wakes up dead. I won't question it. Boss Hina Chihiro and Dojima hunt for their tributes. Komaru camouflages herself in the bushes. Kranya does a cool skateboarding trick to amuse Taichi. Chisa smacks the taste out of Kibo's mouth. Crazy Oko extra large and just throws a discarded dumbbell into Chie's head. You hate to see that. The Great Gozu and Fuiko work together to drown Azuru, but he overpowers them and drowns them instead. Well, it is Azuru. Monica puts on a pair of shutter shades, increasing her aesthetic level tenfold, making Dimitri and Kaede envious. Sakura wants Avi to give Waffles a chance. No, I won't. That's almost like asking me to give Sayaka a chance. But yeah, if I had to choose one, I guess I would choose Waffles. Maya shoots an arrow at Munakata, but it misses and kills Mitarai instead. No win for that boy today. Ryoma and Luna make a list of tasks for Date to do. Well, he'll probably remember to do them. Kanji holds Izio's head underwater, but Izio grabs him by the arm, pulls him into the lake. Both tributes are unable to kill one another, so they both simply swim away. Junko, Big Junko, exclaims, "Not the Naegis," for no particular reason. Well, you should probably be screaming that, because they tend to foil your plans a whole lot. Nagito panders to the audience. He's like, "Bennett escaped, he's still alive. You should be rooting for me now." Rantaro overhears Fat Togami and Yosuke talking in the distance. Toko accidentally blurts out the fact that she likes Jotaro in a non-platonic way. This version of this event has come up so often, and there's like 3 or 4 different versions. Hilda, Kazuichi, and Jin find the Triforce, but before they can distribute the powers of the Triforce to each other, Shuichi kills everyone and takes the Triforce for himself. This man's just trying to have a game. Juzo finds a slingshot, fires it at Marie with such precision that it kills her. Rest in peace to her. Hiroko hangs mistletoe in the arena. It's no longer December. This will not end well for you, Hiroko. In fact, there's a button on the soundboard that, let's see, other profile, elimination, sort by picture, Hiroko, disregard everything that I just said. But if you see Hiroko dead, don't question it. Mishima falls into a pit, but somehow lives. Kotoko says something wrong and Quark calls her a foolish fool. Kaito and Yasuke are made into grotesque human dioramas by Celeste. Kaito will not be getting his win today either. Corey confesses how much he loves Jack. Jack replies, "Cool, see ya, homie," and then just leaves. He's like, well, she's like, no thanks. Or she's like, cool, see ya. That's not an exception or a denial, actually, so who knows. Jin catches a hero crawled up in a ball, rocking back and forth, sucking his thumb. Seems like he's lost it. Marco defeats Daisaku in a fight but spares his life. Hifumi challenges Kyutaro and Joe to an anything goes pancake eating competition. Hifumi murders Kyutaro and Joe as soon as the competition starts, eating a single pancake and earning his way to the World Pancake Championship Invitational. Well, that man has a history with the pancakes. He won what? He won the championship twice before it was actually a championship in a single episode. Gerald and Kay have a picnic on a cliff. Gerald uses this chance to push Kay off of the cliff. Poor Kay. We'll proceed. We lost. 24 this time. We're starting to dwindle. One arena event and one feast, and we might be dwindling a little bit more. But for right now, we lost a standard sized game. And thus it is a Claire de Lune 4. Angie, Reiko, Bennett, Kai, Nane Aichiaki, Makoto, Kokichi, Venti, Lisa, Kurumi, Chie, The Great Gozu, Fuihiko, Mitarai, Hilda, Kazuichi, Jin, Marie, Hiroko, Kaito, Yasuke, Kyutaro, Joe, Kay. We'll see everybody's statuses. We still have plenty of people to go. So many that I'm still just gonna do the slow scroll and we're just gonna proceed. We have a whole bunch. We have so many. What, 76 still left? Something of 76, 77, still a whole bunch. But here is your slow scroll. Everyone who's anyone is still in, except for the people who aren't in because they are somebody's too. But it's still almost anybody's game. Most teams not completely out. Capture the moment, they didn't have a good day today. They didn't have a good start. Hard Knock Life, still having a very hard knock life. Liar Liar, unfortunately. Great name, not doing too well today. But we still have a whole season to go. still have a whole episode to go too. Let's proceed and see what unfolds at night 2. Jiro just thinks about winning. Kyo Quark cuddles up against Celeste. Jeez Louise. Kwanya is unable to convince Ryoma not to kill her. Well, you probably deserved it. Genocide Jack sends Yukiko to jail for Mew-like behavior. Didn't expect that from you. Naoto gets a hold of Avia's soundboard music. She plays the secret achievement music. Naoto! I don't want to be that guy. Not only is this not singles, but that's not a secret achievement this season. So, good try. Admittedly, very good try, but can't do anything for you here. But you know what? I respect the moxie. I'll remember that. Luna, Ryoko, Nakamaru, and Boss sit around the campfire and share spooky stories. Suddenly, there are some weird noises coming from the forest. Boss goes to check it out and never returns. It's not boss time today. Teruteru challenges Kana to a dance-off. Teruteru absolutely dominates. Kana might be too shy or scared to dance. Toko receives a hatch from an unknown sponsor. Mikan goes to the Love Hotel with Taichi. Junko, Marco, and Alice discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Sonia gets infected with a despair disease. She starts insulting everyone who passes her by, relentlessly. Chisa threatens Sayaka with a good time. Izuru cuddles up against Mukuro, interestingly enough. They have the shared trauma from dealing with Junko. Hajime asks Ruruka to help him go to sleep. Ruruka lifts that man's on his shoulders, dropping him onto her knee. Hajime has gone to sleep alright. Kyubo buys every single version of Uno from Avi's wares and despairs. Togami tries to stay up all night to catch the mastermind, but he falls asleep. Mahiru, Sakura, and Gonta tell each other their pet peeves. Any chance that Komaru and Kori had a friendship is destroyed when they're forced to fight over the last piece of pizza. In fact, at that point, he was even like, you know what? You're not even fit for sister. Yosuke enters Monika's mind, and it was a pleasant trip. Really? Really? Usami's unknown sponsor is Jin. Maya, Yuta, and Daisaku enter a scrum debate with Peko, Rantaro, and Date. They argue over which victim had the saddest death. Hiro begs for Dojima to kill him. He refuses, keeping Hiro alive. Shinyan dresses up as Akane, but breaks out in Cosbox. Akane just laughs. Noah hugs Razor, but Razor doesn't like it and kills her for it. Razor. Homie. Why? Mana gets infected with the despair disease, starts insulting everyone who passes her by. Kotoko gets killed, and then replaced by a realistic doll made in her image. I'll allow it. Jotaro, Big Junko, and Oda enter a scrum debate with Sarah, Kanji, and Hina. They argue over who the best girl in Danganronpa is. Leon loves Barbara as much as Maki loves Kaito. Leon's here for all the musicians. He really is. We all know that, so that's pretty canon. Mishima finds an Etch-a-Sketch and shows Chihiro the portrait he made for him. Chihiro loves it, kisses Mishima on the forehead. Izuyoi wants to give Sayaka a chance. No, you may be a champion again, Izuyoi. You may have won your first game, and I'm proud of you, but no. Stop it. Get some help. Clover finds Pennyworth hiding, then comically slaps Pennyworth, and Nagito falls into a pit, and somehow does not live. Zero the Third enjoys some mozzarella sticks with Shuichi. Juzo, Aiko, Fat Togami, and Dimitri play a friendly game of Uno to the death, in which Aiko wins. Rest in peace to those three. Hifumi goes to Love Hotel with Munakata. Both die of exhaustion. That is nasty. Crazy Yoko extra large finishes her novel. Kaede spent all of her perks maxing out luck. That's pretty good. And Chiaki walks barefoot across a carpet of Legos, going against all logic and reason. She powers through the pain and reaches the other side. We'll proceed now to day 3. We're losing people left and right. The scroll bar is getting larger. You can't see it, but I can. Maya gives Daisaku her blessing to marry Izuru. Daisaku and Izuru have no idea what the heck she's on about. This girl she's glitching. Jin, Crazy Yoko extra large, split up her search for resources. Komaru puts on a pair of radical shades and says a one-liner, then puts on a second pair of radical shades on top of the first pair. Her coolness levels are so high that Rantaro dies from exposure. Alice offers to sell his friendship to Teruteru. Rest in peace to Rantaro, by the way. Celeste buys AV merchandise from AV's wares and despairs. Tag team betrayal as Gonta throws a knife into Razor's head. Y'all gotta learn to work together. Chisa asks Naoto if everything's okay. Probably not. Togami and Pennyworth grievously injure each other, which is interesting because y'all should be homies. In order to survive, they have to nurse each other back to health. Luna sets Gerald on fire with a flamethrower, rest in peace. And Mukuro, Date, and Hiro corner Leon, and they are about to kill him when he suddenly pulls out a grappling hook and uses it to escape. Oda wants to be a stepping stone for everyone else. Dojima sits down and he's like, son, let me have a talk with you. Not actual son, though. This man didn't adopt him. Aiko discovers a cave. Peko, Shuichi, and Ryoko hold an intervention for Avi's pancake addiction. I'm not going. One of you's wouldn't even remember what you had to say. One of you, I mean, I might show up for the other two, but you know, 2 out of 3, you gotta give me a solid 3 out of 3. You gotta give me like Gundam, Komaru, and like Sakura all asked me to go to an intervention. You know, I would go then. I would show up to that one. Kibo uses, it's already December, Kibo. You didn't have to change it again. You saw the Christmas cookies. Yukiko comes before Kaede in this event. That bothers me. In an effort to survive, Haruka tries to strangle Mana with toilet paper. Mana tears through it and breaks Haruka's neck in retaliation. Well, yeah, that sounds about right. Yuta starts hanging up mistletoe in the arena, but Sayaka swoops in, snaps his arm, and burns the mistletoe. Maybe I should give her another chance. Chiaki makes a deal with Jotaro. Yosuke finds a yeet ball. Usami beats Kotoko with a ladder, but this is just a carbon copy of Kotoko. Zero the Third accidentally blurts out the fact that he likes Sonya in a non-platonic way. Sonya actually accepts the confession wholeheartedly. Oh, that's sweet. Toko receives a knife from an unknown sponsor. That's less sweet. Cork uses a spell to suck the intelligence out of Hajime, which shockingly works, leaving Hajime literally dumbfounded. Barbara makes a slingshot. Sakura, Shinyan, Mahiru, and Genocide Jack join the Chad Septic Eye cult. Sarah chases Clover around with a mace. Kanji tries to spearfish with a trident. Taichi, Monica, Hina, Junko AI, and Marco look for other people to kill. Akane makes a poem for Kori, Mishima, and Izio sitting in a tree, K-I-S-S-I-N-G. Nakamaru, Junko, Kana, and Chihiro all talk about their hobbies, and Ryoma kills Mikan with a shot-put ball. We are at, yes, fallen tributes, another 14 are gone. Honestly expected more than 14, but we still have plenty to get through. So we are just gonna jump right into A Claire de Lune 4. Kranya, Boss, Noel, Nagito, Juzo, Fat Togami, Dimitri, Hifumi, Munakata, Rentaro, Razor, Gerald, Ruruka, Mikan. And so, as we see everybody's statuses, we'll do a quick Control F and we'll search alive. I think we have like 63. At our final 50. We'll go through here, which will probably be after this proceed, but we'll go through. We have Shrouded in Mystery out. Pure Boy still have 2 people. Prepare for Trouble with 1. We're not gonna go through all of them. Because this episode's already getting long. Oh, but we all knew it was gonna get a long one. It was gonna be a long one. It was a quick scroll. You got the quick scroll though, but a lot of teams are out already. Surprisingly enough, even though there's still 63 people left. But there's only 51 teams, so odds are we probably have a couple teams out. We know we have a couple teams out, but we can't just dilly-dally on who's out. We have to see who's still in as we proceed to Night 3. Akane and Mishima vow to protect each other. Hajime, I just saw Hajime and 3-4 other people, and I was like, he did it again. No, he just holds a secret meeting this time with Celeste, Izuyoi, Quark, and Toko. Alice finds a big red button and presses it immediately as if he were drawn to the glowing light. Fortunately, the button does nothing. Mana stays awake all night. Taichi, feeling especially kind tonight, gives Marco a muffin. That's a nice lad. Sakura tucks Luna into bed, gives her a good night kiss. Ryoma spends the night setting traps to keep Pennyworth and Kana out of his camp. Who knew that those two were teaming up? Ryoko and Kotoko start prepping for Spooky Month by doing the spooky dance. Komaru does a quick prayer to Atua before going to sleep. Jotaro sets a fire. Teruteru rejects your reality and substitutes his own. Consequently, he ends up dead. Nakamaru prays to Atua that he makes it out of here alive, of course with minimal bloodshed. Junko, Sarah, Yuta, and Naoto get together to form a rock band. I don't know how that one would go, actually. I think Naoto might be the only one with any musical experience at all. I think Naoto might have played some musical instrument, maybe? I don't quite remember. Maybe none of them, but Monica feels nice too and gives Corey a muffin. Chiaki goes to the love hotel with Yukiko, but somehow wakes up beside Zero the Third, which is probably a little startling. Sayaka buys a plush of Kaede and cuddles with it. Usami sings Shuichi a lullaby. Peko throws a party at her shelter and invites Kanji, Aiko, and Sonia. The party, though, turns sour when they all start arguing over which song should be blasting through the speakers. It's a house party, so you should be blasting Corey in the house. Barbara loves Hiro as much as Maki loves Kaito. There's a lot of love going on in this arena. It's just been a chill one. Mukuro adopts Jin as her child. Leon and Dojima hold hands. Oda receives a head from an unknown sponsor. Daisaku sets up an outdoor generator, space heater, and floodlights. Crazy Yoko Extra Large and Kibo steal weapons from Chihiro's camp while he is asleep. Mahiru and Clover exercise underneath the stars. Gonta and Yosuke sing some show tunes. Don't expect either one of them to be particularly great at singing. Big Junko, Hina, Shinyon, and Date tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Togami, feeling especially kind, gives Maya a muffin. Chisa reminisces about the year of the aviator. Izuru receives medical supplies, and Jack questions her sanity. We didn't lose that many people at all, if, like, maybe one, right? I think we might have only lost Teru Teru this day. Goodness gracious, that's nutty. We'll proceed to day 4. I'm forcing Kana to work at 8. Well, that sounds like child labor, so maybe I'm not doing it, but maybe she just decided to, and I was like, well, you know, sure, Kana, you can work at AV's Wares and Despairs, since it's understaffed. Azuru and Ryoma think there's an opportunity to score free food from her. Yukiko manages to find a slingshot, fires the Nekomaru with such precision that it kills him. The champ is gone. Akane feigns death, tricking Yuta into ignoring her. Mukuro wants AV to give donut. I love donuts. Mukuro, calm yourself. Peko is exposed to Togami's sensitivity aura, causing her to become more emotional. Taichi asks for, if you want to throw an epic dance party, I'm gonna hit you with the epic dance track. You don't even need to, here you go, Taichi. But go and, you know, play it, go and play it. In fact, we'll just keep on keeping on with it. While they're out here dancing, Hajime's pandering to the audience. Barbara receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Yosuke catches Shinyon crawled up in a ball, rocking back and forth, sucking her thumb. Seems like she's lost it. Hina uses the seesaw effect to kill genocide Jack. Luna accidentally blurts out that she likes Gonta in a non-platonic way. Gonta says, ew, affection, and kills Luna. Ridiculous. Shuichi, Chiaki, and Date join the Adventurers Guild and are assigned roles based on their stats. Shuichi is the Righteous Knight, Chiaki, the Wizened Wizard, and Date is a janitor. Ryoko finds a— okay, Iris, I'm gonna need you to calm down. We're actually switching back to the first theme music. Ryoko finds a violin and begins playing it horribly, much to Monika's frustration. Toko eats some cheese puffs. She knows what she's doing. Dojima deliberately jumps off of a cliff. Well, that's the end of Dojima. Kanji throws sand into the eyes of Usami and runs off. Does she really have eyes? Alice plays chess with death and wins. Oda kills Kaede, then revives her as an undead minion. Mana receives a gift from a secret admirer. It's a giant stuffed bear. Celeste, Marco, and Quark argue over what ingredients to buy for dinner from AV's Wares and Despairs. Sakura attempts to strangle Hiro, but awkwardly ends up massaging his shoulders instead. That's shocking. Jin plants flowers around Komaru's grave. Komaru screams from behind him, "Hello, I'm still alive!" Jin simply replies, "For now." Sarah does a sick kickflip, but fails the landing and falls flat on her face. Chisa reaches her hand towards the scream. The watcher isn't safe. Run! Mahiru and Junko kiss underneath the mistletoe. Now, Clover offers to sell her friendship to Junko AI. Kibo pimp slaps Crazy Yoko extra large off of a cliff. That's death. Pennyworth, Corey build a shack together, a house even, but they have conflicting ideas on interior design. Chihiro gets drenched in honey that's sticky. Sayaka asks AV for a soundboard. No. As much as I like the other 4 characters, if any of them would have asked, I'd be like, well, okay, even if you invited Sayaka. But no, you guys can't dance, I'm sorry. No dance. Izuyoi, Aiko, Sonia, Kotoku, one of you should have asked instead. Daisaku gives Naoto his blessings to marry to marry Maya. They don't know what he's on about, but we only lost 6 that time, which is nuts to me, which means after this quick Claire de Lune 4, Teru Teru, Nekomaru, Genocide Jack, Luna, Dojima, Crazy Yoko, extra large. We still have a ton of folk left. I think we're still at 57. Which means I'm not going through it yet. I said in our top 50 we'll go through it. But every day that we don't have an arena event and a feast is another day that we might have an arena event and a feast. We'll do is click slow scroll. Most teams still have at least one player still in. Who will win? I don't know, but we're about to keep going and find out as we click proceed. To night 4. Marco overhears Izio and Corey's conversation about trying to steal my pancakes because of my pancake. It doesn't exist, but Marco does intervene and kills Izio and Corey. So I'm gonna write his name down right here to have a little entry into the World Pancake Championship Invitational, if I do say so. Sayaka delivers an intense motivational speech to Gonta, and Azuru inspires them to give them their all this game. Shuichi severely slices Ryoko with a chainsaw. Togami, Yosuke, Peko, and Mukuro all play a friendly game of Uno, which Peko actually wins. Daisaku, Cork, and Junko enter a scrum debate with Alice. Junko AI and Akane, they argue over which victim had the saddest death. Chisa attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Pennyworth dresses up as Chihiro, breaks out in cost blocks. Chihiro just laughs. I don't know. The mental image of Pennyworth trying to dress up as Chihiro is kind of cursed. Kibo finds an Etch-a-Sketch after a few hours, creates a masterpiece. Maya is bitten by a black mamba, but Hina has some anti-venom, is able to actually save Maya's life. We gotta do something about these snakes and all these reptiles in this arena. We gotta do something about it. Usami goes to Love Hotel with Sakura. Komaru sets up camp for the night. Mishima, Kaede, Taichi, Yuta, and Yukiko get together and form an idol group. That's not gonna work out. That's just not gonna work out. I see zero chance. Jin stands over the dead body of Zero the Third that he just shot and said, I have nothing to do with that corpse. Kotoko sings a romantic song to Chiaki. When the two begin to lean in for a tender kiss, Kotoko notices Mana filming, which makes Kotoko shout at Mana. Well, you probably shouldn't have been filming them. You deserve the shouts. Kana feels herself developing a crush on Jotaro. Kana no, Kana don't. Well, who knows. Leon holds a secret meeting with Toko, Aiko, and Monica, and Hiro. Ryoma throws a Molotov at Shinyan. After the fire dissipates, Ryoma is still perfectly okay. Okay, cool. I think everyone lives. Sarah, Naoto, and Date enter a scrum debate with Mahiru, Kanji, and Oda. They argue over what the best starter Pokemon is. Did you know? Gosh darn it, these Komodos. That a group of Komodos is called a bank because Celeste just pissed off a bank of Komodo dragons and gets killed for her actions. We gotta do something about these Komodo dragons. They're taking out Celeste now, too. Clover makes a hot stew for dinner before bedding down for the night, and Sonia goes to Love Hotel with Barbara, but somehow ends up waking next to Hajime, which means it is day 5. Alice receives a gift from an unknown sponsor, or a secret admirer. It's a box of chocolates, rather. Ryoma falls into a pit, but somehow lives. Pennyworth doesn't live because Clover kills him while he's resting. Yosuke wants me to give Waffles a chance. You saw me not give Sayaka a chance earlier. Good luck. Sakura stabs Junko while her back is turned. Gonta, Hiro, and Shinyan discuss the killing life so far. Shuichi kills Daisaku, then revives him as an undead minion. Sarah receives a bottle of poison from an unknown sponsor. Oda is exposed to Usami's sensitivity aura, causing him to become more emotional. Mana wonders if Nagito has Nagito insurance. You would hope so, because he's dead. Mahiru trips on a comically placed banana peel, falls on her bottom. Aiko hunts for other tributes. Komaru cleans her kitchen with a new kitchen gun. Maya uses righteous anger and yeets Kotoko into oblivion. Peko stabs Monica with a sword, fitting, revives her with the wish ring, then repeats the process until she's satisfied. Pretty sure Monica does not live from now on. Marco receives a hatch from an unknown sponsor. Yukiko shows Sonia her murder list. At the top is Sonia's name, and it's in bold too. Kana dies from an infection. Big Junko uses her secret technique, running away. But they're gonna see you running. Jin discovers a cave. Jotaro dies from thirst. Chiaki decides to lend Avia. Take out those Komodo. Go girl, you do that. Togami, Sayaka, Hina, Leon make up the alpha team. Togami is the confident yet dorky leader. Sayaka is the explosives expert who doesn't think before she speaks. Hina is the transportation expert who thinks she knows better. And Leon is a sharpshooter that thinks that sarcasm is a personality trait. Kaede, Kanji, Anti-hero argue over what the best ingredients are to get for dinner tonight from Avis wears in despair. Chisa's out here beating everyone with weapons as she beats Zuru with a steel chair. Date does Date things. Barbara, Kibo, and Cork get chased by a rampaging Hajime. Taichi tells Akane that she's not a clown but the entire circus. Toko, Naoto, and Yuta do the torture dance while torturing Mishima, and Mukuro receives pancakes from Avi. We lost another 11. That brings us down to 48. Still twice the size of a standard size game, but we'll go through everyone who's left. As we hit a Claire de Lune 4. Izuyoi, Cory, Ryoka, Zero the Third, Celeste, Pennyworth, Junko, Kotoko, Monica, Kana, Jotaro. And we're gonna sweep through them quick because we still got a ton of time. And it's a long one already. Yudo still remains for the Pure Boys. Prepare for troubles to have Sonya. Hajime for Fusion Ha. Jack and Failures still have Hiro and Kanji. The Proud Fathers still have Taichi holding on proudly. The Big Sisters are completely in. That is actually impressive. The Brainiacs still have Cork. Headphone Vibe and still have Yosuke and Marco. Ultra Despair Girls, former champs, still have Komaru. The Unstoppable Idol still have Sayaka and Barbara. Maya for Mind Trip. Izuru for the Power of God in Anime. Shinyan for Rock On. Homeroom still has Chisa and Usami. The Amnesiacs still have Date. Headmasters have Jin. The Selfless Saviors have Mishima. Spoiled has Togami and Oda. The Wolfpack has Gonta. Brute Force has Sakura and Mana. Here to Stay has Big Junko staying. The Meat Masters has Akane. Peaceful Protest has Chiaki. The Womanagers has Yukiko. The Jailbirds completely in. Robotics Club still has their robot Kibo. Cutting Words also completely in. To Be Me completely in. The Pro Tag team has Kaede and Shuichi with 5 KOs. I told you, this man is going off. Strong and Soft has Daisaku. Home Run completely in. Obsessive Siblings have Clover. Aiko's Kitchen with Aiko. And that's it. Peaceful Protest, I think I said we had Chiaki. I think we're good. I think that's everyone. 48 remain. Unless I did the very quick math wrong, which is completely possible. 46 left. That's why we always double check. We're even smaller than we thought we were. And we have yet to have the Feast or an Arena event which can make this game end lickety-split. So if you're looking at that progress bar and it's less than you think it should be, well, you know what's about to happen. Shuichi gets a hold of my soundboard, and I would be mad, but he actually plays something absolutely glorious. He is going off this game. Shuichi, you keep doing work. You love to see that, actually. But Clover, Chisa, Izuru have a scrum debate with Oda, Aiko, and Hajime. They argue about the best girl in Danganronpa. Togami isn't afraid. I'm sorry, he ain't afraid of no ghost. He isn't afraid of any ghost, maybe, but he ain't afraid of no ghost. Alice and Sayaka start kicking Ryoma for unknown reasons. Mukuro finishes her nighttime coffee before joining in. Taichi makes a hot stew for dinner before bedding down for the night. Kyubo reminisces about the year of the horizon. Shinyan and Date hold hands. Yosuke, Maya, and Hina unsuccessfully ambush Mishima, Leon, and Yuta, who killed them instead. Usami puts her trust in Kaede and allows herself to fall backwards. Kaede does nothing, she just watches her. How rude. Hiro, Chihiro, and Jin all have s'mores around the campfire. Any chance that Kanji and Sonya had it? Friendship is destroyed when they're forced to fight over the last slice of pizza. Mahiru poisons Yukiko's drink, but mistakes it for her own, and perishes. Marco, I don't know how you got a hold of my soundboard. I don't know how 2 people got a hold of it during this single game, but it's playing Samurai Woman, and I love this bop, so we're gonna keep on going with it. Chiaki and Toko get lost in the coldest part of the arena. Cork and Barbara talk about the tributes to the live. Junko AI finds an Etch-a-Sketch and shows Naoto the portrait that she made for Akane? Big Junko was cheating on Naoto with Akane all along? I believe it. Mana gets... walks into a portal and turns it on. She gets shocked and killed. Her molecules don't get all rearranged. She just dies. Gonta decapitates Pekka with a sword. Maybe her own sword. A starving Daisaku trades nearly half of its supplies for Komaru's loaf of bread, and Sakura shoots an arrow into Sarah's head. This day was probably one of the bloodiest that we've had in a little while, so we'll proceed, and we'll see day 6. As Ryoma and Toko are just sitting in a tree, KISS-ING Togami berates Marco for hours, but he thinks they got close that day. Date uses Christmas magic. It's already December, Date, calm down. Hajime attempts to do a cool skateboarding trip. Oh, trick, but ends up with his guts splattered all over the pavement. That's a shame. Taichi builds a snowball containing a rock and pegs it at the back of Sonya's head. Sonya does not survive the impact. Let me tell you. The snow that's behind Goldforge Mountain. Komaru, Clover, Yuta, and Chihiro join the Chad Septic Eye cult. I don't know what that is. Hiro. The Chi is the person who was in the event before you. Junko, AI, and Izuru discuss the killing life so far. Togami and Kibo hunt for their tributes. Chiaki manages to delete Usami, Sakura, and Yukiko from existence while saying, just Chiaki. Gonta bashes Shuichi's head in with a mace. Apparently Gonta's like, no, I'm going off this game. Sayaka eats dirt. Delicious. Chisa, Naoto, Shinyan hold an intervention for my pancake addiction. Chisa, Naoto, Shinyan. They have all perished for somehow, some way. Kaede sets up an ice cream shack. Quirk comes and buys some. It was actually delicious. Leon embraces the power of positivity. Mukuro hopes Avi doesn't jinx her. I'ma remember that. A Monokuma unit corners Barbara and mauls her. Alice exclaims, not the Nayakis, for no reason in particular. Akane catches Oda off guard and kills him. Aiko is tied down to a table and forced to listen to Kanji's monologue about himself. Aiko dies of boredom. Kanji's an interesting dude. Daisaku puts all of his faith into Atiwa. Jin is pricked by thorns while picking berries. And Mishima finds the remains of a pirate ship. We've lost a ton. We lost 19 that time. In comparison, that's very big. That brings us way, way down. Which means after this Claire de Lune 4, Yosuke, Maya, Hina, Mahiro, Mana, Peko, Sarah, Hajime, Sonya, Usami, Sakura, Yukiko, Shuichi, Chisa, Naoto, Shinyan, Barbara, Oda, Aiko. We're way down now. way down. What are we at, 27? Were we at 46 before? I think we were 46, so we should be at 27. Correct. We still have Yuta. Never count the mans out. We still have Hiro and Kanji from the Jack of Failures. Proud Fathers have Taichi. The Big Sisters suffered that time and now only have Mukuro. Cork remains from the Brainiacs. Marco from Headphone Vibe and Ultra Aspergos have Komaru. Unstoppable Idol still have Sayaka. Azuru from the Power of God and Anime. The Amnesiacs still have Date. The Headmasters have Jin. Mishima with 4 KOs from the Selfless Saviors. Togami was spoiled has 1. The Wolfpack has Gonta with 6. Here to Stay has a Big Junko. The Meat Masters has Akane. Peaceful Protest still have Chiaki. The Jailbird's completely in. Robotics Club still have Kibo. Cutting Word still has Peko. To Be Me still has Chihiro. Pro Tag Team has Kaede. Strong and Soft still has Daisaku. Home Run has Leon. The Obsessive Siblings still have Clover. 27 remain. Next Claire de Lune could be the final Claire de Lune before your saving grace picks. Do you need them? Probably. Because I only made you pick 3 teams, and there are a ton. So let's go ahead, let's proceed, and we'll see what unfolds. Kanji! Yes, queen! Togami strangles Yuta after engaging in a fistfight. Well, I guess you can count out Yuta now. Cork sets up a trap to kill Hiro, but the trap fails and only manages to cripple Hiro. Cork manages, or attempts to try again, but Marco finds out the plan and kills Cork instead. I didn't know you had that close bond there. Oh goodness gracious. Date gets a hold of my soundboard and vibes out to Dire Docks. Well, Chiaki buys a deed to a house. She can now have parties every week, baby. Alice, Sayaka, Toko, Komaru, Daisaku, Izuru, Junko AI, Kaede, Gonta, Clover, and Kibo are forced to vote out a traitor. When they have that traitor, be executed. Player 8, who is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Kaede, is the traitor and is dusted. Akane forces Chihiro to kill Mishima or Mukuro. He decides to kill Mishima. Leon silently snaps Taichi's neck. Any chance that Ryoma and Jin headed friendship is destroyed when they're forced to fight over the last slice of pizza. As we proceed, it's day 7 and Marco wants to be a stepping stone for everyone else. Ryoma sits down, has a talk with him. Daisaku finds a slingshot, fires it at Junko AI with such precision that it kills her. A real David versus Goliath. Leon and Toko want to raise the bar. Actually, they are the bar. Chihiro commits Sora. Chiaki reminisces about Season 2. Kanji confides in Mukuro. Mukuro takes notes so she can exploit him later. Clover receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Akane exclaims, "Not the Naegis," for no reason in particular. Well, probably because right afterwards Hiro strangles Komaru with his brand new socks, not the Naegis indeed. Kibo plants flowers around his campfire. Izuru does a sick kick flip. Sick. Jin accidentally blurts out the fact that he likes Alice in a non-platonic way. Alice declines that accidental confession, saying he doesn't like him that way. Togami comes before Date in this event, and Sayaka just plays patty cake with Gonta. And I'm going to... You know what? No, we're keeping the vibing music going. We're gonna keep it going. The class is all plugged into a VR game. Marco solves the mystery of the Neo World program. Clover breaks a rule and is punished in-game by Monokuma. She falls into a coma in real life and subsequently dies. Leon enjoys the game. Hiro exploits a game bug, strangling Togami with toilet paper. He suffocates in real life. Chiaki enjoys the game. Sayaka finds a sci-fi weapon and fires it at Kanji. The explosion also catches Daisaku and Toko, and all 3 die of shock. However, Date enjoys the game. Both Kibo and Gonta solve the mystery of the Neo World program. Jin finds a sci-fi weapon, fires it at Chihiro. The explosion also catches Mukuro and Alice. All 3 of them die of shock. Ryoma helps Izuru plug in but accidentally plugs in the wires wrong. Izuru's brain ends up leaking out of his nose, and Akane glitches out and falls to the game world and never wakes up. And now, we've lost 17, which brings us, were we just at 27? If we were, that brings us to 10. I'll double check, but I don't remember if we were at 27 or just past that, but I know for certain now. After this Claire de Lune, 4. Yuta, Cork, Kaede, Mishima, Taichi, Junko, AI, Komaru, Clover, Togami, Kanji, Daisaku, Toko, Chihiro, Mukuro, Alice, Izuru, Akane. Now, on Control F, and I'm pretty sure it's just 10, exactly 10, yes it is, exactly 10 left. We made it here. If you were still here, good job. I am proud of you, because this is a long one. I knew it was going to be long, but I expected an arena event sooner. We didn't get it sooner. It came up on day 7, but that is what it is. That is RNG for you, and that's what you're here for. So, instead of belaboring it, I think it's just time for your Saving Grace picks. We have finally made it, and don't forget Retribution is still in play. We still have the Jacket Failures, Hiro. We still have Headphone Vibin, Marco. We still have the Unstoppable Idols with Sayaka. We still have the Amnesiacs, the Pacifists right now, Date. We have the Headmasters with Jin. We still have the Wolfpack with Gonta. We still have Peaceful Protest with Chiaki. We've got the Jailbirds with Ryoma. We've got Robotics Club with Kibo. We have Home Run with Leon. That's your top 10, so pick first, second, and third because those comments are important. Make sure to like the video because it helps spread it around. That's all. I'm not gonna belabor it at all because we are going and going and going, and I need to pick first, second, and third. Without really jinxing it, I really like the team, the Robotics Club, so give me Kibo for first. I really like the Wolfpack team, to be completely honest, so give me Gonta for second, and give me Headphone Vibing for third, because they were one of my like sleeper pick teams last season. I kind of want them to get a win this season. I do like most of the teams that are left, if I'm being completely honest, but it's your final 10. I know you guys have already picked first, second, and third. You guys make them real quick, and if you didn't, you can pause the episode. But I will say, it is Hiro. It is Marco. It is Sayaka. It is Date. It is Jin. It is Gonta. It is Chiaki. It is Ryoma. It is Kibo. It is Leon. And those 10 are all going strong with the same steel determination as that of a samurai woman. We've heard it once and we're not skipping it today. But what will unfold when we click proceed? Let's find out. Night 7, Date passes out from exhaustion. Hiro, Jin, and Gonta sleep in shifts and Marco acts cute. Oh. Sayaka, Kibo, and Chiaki start fighting, but Kibo runs away as Sayaka kills Chiaki. You hate to see that, Sayaka, you nasty. Ryoma reminisces about the year of the aviator. Leon gets a hold of Avi's soundboard. Oh, however, before he can use it, he gets caught by... You know what? I'm tired of it getting stolen this season. Leon, you're out of here. You're disqualified. Get out. Get out, you nasty. Get out of here. Now, we have to remember, Retribution getting very close, because we rolled a 4, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You get into the top 5, and you don't win, you're getting into that Retribution match. We'll proceed to day 8. Kibo attempts to do a cool skateboard trick to amuse Gonta. Gonta hates the attempt so much that he kills Kibo with his own skateboard. Sayaka's trapped in a box with a small device that can release a deathly poison every hour. Is she dead? Is she alive? We can only find out if we click proceed. Please, please. Jin and Date split up to search for resources, and Hiro, Ryoma, and Marco start fighting, but Ryoma runs away as Hiro kills Marco. Oh no. Okay, we'll proceed. Is she here or is she gone? She's still alive. She's gotta die next. But it is indeed a terrible, terrible turnabout for Chiaki, Leon, Kibo, Marco. And once again, because we rolled a 4 and there are 6 people left, we'll see everybody's statuses. The next person that gets out will not be in the Retribution match, but everyone else will be except for the winners, who will go onto the bracket. So, between Ryoma, Gonta, who has 7 KOs, Jin Kirigiri, Date, Sayaka, and Hiro. Whichever one of them perishes is one of the most unluckiest people, perhaps, in this entire game. To make it so close, they will really need Retribution. We'll hope that they get it at some point, but they will not be getting it today. But these 6 still are going strong with the heart of a samurai woman. That's right, it's still 6. We get samurai woman twice in this simulator, which is a rarity, so enjoy it. Savor it. We'll proceed to see what happens. At night 8, Sayaka catches Jin with a giant box of comically placed banana peels. Date, Ryoma, and Gonta spend all night making a treehouse together. The end product isn't very good, but the important thing is that they worked on it together, and Hiro dies of dysentery. That means Hiro will not be making it. Everyone here will either win the game or make it into the fantastic Retribution match, but only the singles people, the only the single people. No whole teams are in the Retribution match, at least not yet. Will their partners find it there as well? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But we have to proceed. We're at your final 5, and we're at day 9. As Ryoma spears Gonta in the abdomen, but that means Gonta's the first person to make it into the Retribution match. Jin is not funny, has never been funny, and he will never be funny. Date traps himself and bleeds out, and Sayaka wakes from a long, long nap, and that means we are down to your final 3, the Amnesiacs, the Headmasters, and the Jailbirds. As we proceed, do we have a feast or do we just have a Clair de Lune? We have an arena event. Well, oh well, oh. She won in such a cocky way too. Tributes gather at Celeste Holiday Mansion to celebrate the summer holidays. Ryoma is scared to death of fireworks, but actually scared to death, so a shame. Jin's choking! Sayaka approaches but simply ruffles his hair, smiles, and leaves because she knows exactly what that means. There was no feast today. just 2 arena events. That is actually a rarity. Usually we get the feast and no arena events if we get one or the other. This was a rarity, and unfortunately I know what this means. We'll proceed, and we've lost 5. There were 6 left, so we have ourselves a winner. Oh, it's gonna be a long season. It's a terrible turnabout for Hiro, Gonta, Date, Ryoma, and Jin. We can see everybody's statuses. There's only 1 person left, which is interesting because I really like the other 2 people on our team. Should have given her a chance. I should have given her a chance, and then she would have won. And we were like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have given her a chance. No, forget it. Oh, composure. Let's proceed. You gotta clap it up for her. It was a massive game, but with new teams and old teams, she came out on top, and your winner. Putting the unstoppable and unstoppable idols for Barbara and for Iris, your winner. For the first time with all of these teams in tag team action, and for the first time for this team, the Unstoppable Idols, Sayaka takes the win. I like the Unstoppable Idols. I do. So I'm not that salty. I wish it weren't Sayaka who did it, but I don't hate the team at all. We'll proceed. They were unstoppable. Sayaka takes the win, and you can go and bring up the bracket right now so we can do a little bit of free-form explaining on Retribution. There she is. She, Barbara, and Iris all going on to that tag team finale. However, it is the season of Retribution, and in tag team action, at the end of the season, there will be a Retribution match. And because of the Retribution, we rolled a 4. And that's why the die roll is important. We'll have a die roll every episode. And this episode, we rolled a 4. Which means the next 4 spots after the winner will all go on to the Retribution match. And they will be Jin from Headmasters, Ryoma from the Jailbirds, Date from the Amnesiacs, and Gonta from the Wolfpack. And all of them will go on to fight for one final spot in the tag team bracket. That is how Retribution works. That is how it will work for the singles tomorrow, and almost how it works for the OCs. Whatever we rolled, it's doubled up because we have less OC episodes. It just makes sense. But that's it. That's how this works. I hope that now you understand. I hope everyone who was a little bit confused now does understand. So Jin, Ryoma, Date, and Gonta will all be in that match. It will be accumulating more people in that match. Maybe their teammates will join them if they place well enough but don't win. They will be taken out of the match, however, if they qualify later on. That's just how it works. Hiro is in 6th, Marco is in 7th, Kibo in 8th, Leon in 9th, and Chiaki rounding off your top 10. Dang, if we had only rolled a 5 or a 6, Hiro and Marco could have been there, but that is Retribution, that is RNG for you. We will slow scroll all the way down to the very end to see how everyone did. This was a long game, but it had some very fun moments, I won't lie. Some very nice moments, some very ironic moments, just some good times all around. Surprised that Ranger finished so low. This was the worst that Ranger's ever placed. Worst that Ranger's ever placed. I've got my eyes on him this season. All the way down to 133rd. That's right, we had 133 people. We'll proceed. It started with Oda decapitating Kizakura, but it all ended at Celeste Holiday Mansion. She wasn't even there, but she left the key under the rug just in case there was a celebration to be had. The summer holidays are in effect. Sayaka, she won the whole thing. Jin was choking and Sayaka just walked up and said, "Thanks for the free win." The cockiest way that I think we've ever seen a win. Gosh darn it, freaking Sayaka, am I right? We'll proceed. Gonta had the most KOs though, so don't forget that. Shuichi had 5, Hajime, Leon, Mishima, and Ryoma all had 4. Everyone else had 3, 2, or 1, or 0, because that's a long list. The best team today were the Unstoppable Idols. The worst team today, Capture the Moment. Congratulations once again to Iris, and to Barbara, and to freaking Sayaka. You had to win a long game, didn't you? You had to do it. You had to do it, Sayaka. Okay. You hate to see it, but it is what it is. I'm not mad. Maybe a little bit. But good for Iris. She was in what, last? Next to last, and she still came out on top. Where was Barbara? Barbara was 30th, so they had a really odd spacing. really odd spacing. But we'll go back to the reaping. And that is how retribution works, if you were confused. Now you know that. And tomorrow will not be nearly as long as an episode. In fact, it'll probably... This episode's over an hour. I'm not gonna say that just take the hour off and you'll have what tomorrow's episode will be. Maybe. I don't know. We don't know. I don't know. But it'll be a fun one. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. But if you don't, there's next week too. Stay classy. Year of the Ascent. Toodaloo. Flight Crew. Thanks for watching.